If you can't handle me at my worst, then you don't deserve me at my best. This is a ludicrous statement, and in this video I hope to explain why so that you'll understand my perspective here. Because unfortunately, this quote is shared so much across social media, in particular by women primarily, and it just doesn't hold up the logic, it doesn't hold up in reality. So let me break this down. When people say if you can't handle me at my worst and you don't deserve me at my best, they're basically saying that if I hit a low period and you end up leaving me because of it, then you didn't even deserve me at all, especially when I am at my best. But that only holds true if somebody leaves you during the low period when you're actually working on pulling yourself out of that situation. If you hit a low point due to maybe just low self-esteem because something knocked you off course, or maybe you gained a lot of weight, because that does tend to happen, and that's probably one of the main reasons why people share this quote, is they end up letting themselves go, or just you lost your job or something else. If that happens and you're actually working on pulling yourself out of that situation, on becoming better, then yeah, your partner would be a dick if they were to leave you over that. However, if you hit a low point like that and you're not working on pulling yourself out of it, that's an entirely different situation. In that case, your partner has all the right in the world to leave you over it, because you're basically conveying that you don't care enough, or that you are too beaten down by the situation to work on getting yourself out of there. And your partner shouldn't have to put up with that, when, especially if they're working on themselves and working on becoming better. So this is what I mean by this quote. Quite often it's shared by people who just let themselves go and they have no desire to improve themselves. And yet they share the quote like it's a badge of honor, like, you don't deserve me because I'm better than I am, and you won't accept me when I'm at my worst and I'm not trying to get out of it. And it's like, what the hell? Why would you ever expect anyone to expect you when you're at your worst and you're not working on getting out of that place? That would be like me thinking I'm entitled to be a millionaire while I'm unemployed and not even looking for a job. Like, really? That's never going to happen. So why would you expect your partner to accept you at your worst if you aren't working on getting out of there? Especially if they're a great partner. They don't deserve that, and you aren't entitled to them. You aren't entitled to anyone. I mean, I've worked on myself a lot, and I know I'm not entitled to anyone, especially not the best women out there. So it's just, the statement, I just wish it wasn't shared so much, because people use it as an excuse to not improve themselves and to act, and to basically overblow their self-worth. They act super entitled, like they're owed the world, when they're not even doing anything to, well, to be worthy of receiving the world in return. So it's just, it's so dumb. But even beyond that, there's a bit of a double standard here, where since women do primarily share this quote more than men, I mean, I have seen men share it a few times, but by and large, women primarily share it, which makes sense. It's a Marilyn Monroe quote, so that, makes sense. But what ends up happening is quite often women will share this quote, but they wouldn't even accept this behavior from men. So they want men to accept her when she's at her worst, but she won't accept men when they're at their worst. So what the fuck? that's insane double standards. Like, whoa, really? Like, you can't do that. That's just not cool. Like, that hypocrisy, and you see it so much. So if you wouldn't accept somebody else at their worst, why would you expect them to do the same for you? Like, come on. There's just, where's the logic in that? The double standards are just, it's nutty. But anyway, I just wanted to make this quick video because this quote is just so ridiculous, and I hope none of you believe in the BS behind it. Nobody should have to accept you at your worst if you aren't working on pulling yourself out of there. Now, on the other hand, if you do hit a low point, but you're working on changing yourself, on growing and getting out of that situation, that's entirely different. I would hope that a supportive partner would be there for you throughout that. But if you hit a low point and your partner's supportive at first, but then months later you're still at that point and you haven't tried to pull yourself out of it at all, then sure, don't feel bad for yourself when your partner left you. You didn't do anything to try to keep them, so what were you expecting? That's just come on, guys. We gotta throw these stupid ways of thinking around relationships out the door because it's just there's no logic in some of these things. But anyway, I'm gonna end the video here. If you enjoyed it, the easiest way you can support me is just to like, comment, and share, and I will see you guys in the next video. Arrivederci!